I'm Nikki Sjoden, and I run an agency called Insurance Services. I specialize in pretty much consulting people on their insurance needs and helping educate, and young people's actually my target and my focus on getting people informed on what they need.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking time with us. So let's kind of start with the basics, and we're talking about health insurance, and our target population is 18 to 34 years old. And one of the things that we've noticed is that when you turn 18, you start to, you're no longer a juvenile, you now become technically an adult. Responsible, exactly. And so when you turn 18 years old, what are the rules around being on health, like your parents' health insurance, or do you have to get your own, or are there any rules around that, or is it?
Some of the rules are starting to change right now. It's 25. You have to be, to stay on your parents' plan, you have to be either full-time in college or school, or completely financially dependent. So living in the basement, or
so you have to be 25 years or younger.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 25, if you're younger than 25 and you're not in school, you can still be on your parents' health insurance?
As long as you're considered financially dependent, as the law states now, or the rule.
So do you have any idea what financially dependent means, or do we need to look that up?
You probably can't be anything, you can't be W-2'd and really making any sort of income on your own.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, I think that they're cracking down a little bit more and checking into it a little bit more. Part of the big healthcare reform is them moving that to 27, where that came from, I'm not sure about.
But if you're financially dependent, that's...
Financially dependent,
okay.
Which, if you're on any sort of other payroll or filing your own taxes as making income, then you don't qualify.
Then you don't qualify,
right.
So
pretty much, yeah.
You're either in school or you're...
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if you're in school, it's okay.
Sure.
But technically speaking, it is...
Which probably fall hand in hand.
Right.
You're in school, so you're financially dependent.
Yeah, but there are kids who do go to school and work.
It's still fine.
Still fine.
Yeah.
So as long as you're in school, you can
Yeah.
be making money and still...
Be
So it's an incentive to get kids to go to school?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. So, well, let's say, for instance, that you turn 18 years old and you don't go to any kind of school, and I need health insurance. So I know, what you do is you go get a job somewhere that offers health insurance, right?
Sure.
So let's say, for instance, as a starting place, I go to work for retail outlet superstore. And do you know what kind of, do all of them offer different kinds of insurance, or?
Unfortunately, it's less and less that employers are offering benefits based on cost, mostly, and economy. They would rather pay somebody a little bit more to not have to have full benefits.
Oh, really? That's the trend.
Yeah, and by state law, you have to be working at least 24 hours a week, which isn't huge. But you have to, and if the employer has its own guidelines on how long you have to be there, a certain amount of time, usually it's 90 days before you're able to qualify to be on their benefit plan.
Okay, so hold on. State law, when you say 24 hours, that means
A
that
week.
you have to be working 24 hours a week for a company to be eligible for benefits?
Considered part-time.
Okay, if you're working less than 24 hours, they don't ever have to pay you or give you benefits.
Right, they have to pay you. But
They have to pay you, yes, but they don't have to give you the benefits.
Right.
Okay.
They can't. By state law, they can't offer you benefits.
They can't even offer you benefits. They can't. Not even if they wanted to.
No. Is that crazy?
That's weird. Okay, so now we're at 24 hours, but they say we're going to, employ you for 24 to 35 hours per week. Do they have to offer you health insurance? Do they have to?
No. If they don't have it. If they have it, they do have to offer it.
If they have it for...
already has a program set up, then they have to offer it to you.
Okay. But if they don't have to go out and if they
obtain a plan
because you work more than 24 hours?
No. I insure a lot of people individually because their employer just simply doesn't have anything.
Wow. Okay, so that leads me to my next question, which is, when you go to work for an employer that does,
Mm-hmm.
you're going under, let me see if I've got this right, you tell me
Okay.
if I'm wrong. You go to work under a group plan,
Mm-hmm.
is that right?
Yep.
Okay. What is, and if I'm not under a group plan, then I have to be under an individual plan.
Correct.
Are there other kinds of plans I'm missing? It's just
Pretty
group
much that's
and, okay.
Yep.
So the group plan means that, what?
A group plan is going to accept you no matter what your health is. So, which leads to group health insurance being a little bit more expensive.
For the individual or for the people who have the group?
It depends on how it's set up. Sometimes groups will say we'll only cover 50% of your premium.
Okay.
A lot of groups do that to cut their costs, but still offer a plan.
Okay.
But obviously, if the employer is picking up 100%, then it would be kind of a no-brainer
Right.
to go onto their plan. But it does accept. I mean, there's no health underwriting, so everybody is accepted on groups under 50. I mean, we could get really technical there, but groups over 50 physically go through underwriting, and then their premiums are based on the group overall health of the group.
Hold on,
So.
wait. Let me back up. Couple things hit me there. What is health underwriting?
Health underwriting is they're going to ask you when your last sniffle and sneeze was, and if you've been to the doctor, if you're on any medications, what your health history is.
And they're going to do this, okay, so I go to work and I'm with my employer, and if they have a group plan, we're not talking about the over 50 or under 50 thing.
Sure.
If they have a health plan, a group plan, there's not going to be this health underwriting.
Nope. You basically sign your name,
And then
all of
they're-
your information, pick a plan, whether some groups will offer, a full spectrum of plans or just say this is the one that we have.
Okay.
As long as you've qualified on the employer's end, then you're in.
Okay. And then when you said over 50, or are you talking about age, or are you talking about number of employees?
Number of employees,
Okay.
size of the group.
So if an employer has 50 or less employees,
Mm-hmm.
employer has 50 or less employees, they don't have to do health underwriting.
No.
But they have over 50, they do?
It's already underwritten when the group signs up. So the individual will just be, the rates are the rates, but
Okay.
it's still based on the health of the entire group.
Wow. Okay,
But
so...
it's far, far easier to qualify in that sense than doing an individually based plan.
Okay, so if I'm in a group plan,
Mm-hmm.
basically I have a better chance of getting in,
Yes.
even if I have a pre-existing condition?
Yep.
Okay.
Pre-existing doesn't apply.
Pre-existing does not apply in a group plan.
Right.